Welcome to another episode of Modern Black Man Podcast. This week I am joined with Mr. Douglas Fisher. What's happening, man?
What's going on, big bro? How you doing?
Man, I don't know where to begin. This is crazy. Last night, what I saw, did you see it in real time?
You talking about, did I see it live?
Did you see it live?
Nah, man. Nobody watches that but you. You're like the only person on earth that saw that live.
I didn't see it live. But I saw so many different versions from so many different countries. It's so many different angles with so many different breakdowns. It's crazy. When I first saw it, I thought it was scripted. I thought it was staged. I thought it was WWE. I thought that it was like a gimmick, a trick, a ploy, a plot, a twist. But what do you think?
I think so much. I thought a lot of things. So let me see if I can give a couple different perspectives that I've thought about today. So when I very first saw it, my very first thought was, wow, he's going to get away with that, isn't he? So yeah, I believe it was real. And the only reason I think it was real was because what happened afterwards. Like he when he went back and sat down, like how amped up he was. When he kept saying, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And he kept saying that. And I was just like, wow, he must really feel some type of way about it. But from from Chris Rock's standpoint, I really hope he pressed charges. I really do. Like, I mean, he should press charges.
He should.
He should absolutely press charges. I understand from a husband's perspective, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And I don't agree with the whole reasoning or the, what's the word, excuse.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason I hit him is because my wife does have alopecia and so on and so forth. I believe she does. She does suffer from alopecia, but so does my mom.
Thank you. I mean, my wife has cancer. My wife has a thyroid disorder, a cold, or COVID-19, which is lethal. Whatever it is, man, I'm gonna let you make your point. I don't even want to say nothing.
Yeah, I just feel like when I say he's going to get away with it, he made that BS apology as if anybody cares,
Well, he didn't apologize to Chris Rock.
No, he did not apologize to Chris Rock. He apologized to the Grammys, and he apologized to his
Academy
or the family. Yeah, whoever. I mean,
everybody but Chris Rock. No, I wasn't correcting you. I'm just saying everybody but Chris Rock.
Yeah, I mean, even if he had apologized to Chris Rock, if I were Chris Rock, I'd be sitting around right now with my lawyers like, how can we squeeze every little dime out of this dude?
Was it $1 million slap or $1 billion slap?
How much is Will Smith worth?
He's not worth $1 billion.
Okay.
He really ain't worth $1 billion.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I would take that as far as you could possibly take
I'd
that.
Be 14 million. I thought 14 to 27 million immediately, because I would have sued the Academy. I would have sued security, LAPD, and then I would have got to Will Smith. I would have sued the viewers at home. I would sue all the bloggers, the vloggers, the podcasters. I would have sued everybody on YouTube. And I don't know who else makes memes, but I got 10 revenue streams. Let me calm down because I was upset.
Why? What was you mad about?
Bruh, I'm going to let you finish because the way... orange soda. Who loves orange soda? Bruh. That was crazy. Let me begin.
Well, check this out. Think about it this way. People are getting sued for defamation of character.
Okay.
Like you're like people are actually getting sued for what they say. People are getting sued for what they say on their blogs, and so on and so forth. Like you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
So Will Smith should have no problem understanding why that lawsuit is coming. Like it's coming.
Bruh, Chris Rock said he isn't going to press charges. And I'm going to take one step back. I'm going to take one step back and just allude to a few things that I was concerned with, right? I didn't like the fact as a man how Will Smith felt comfortable sucker punching Chris Rock, bruh. Like if you a man, fight like a man. You can't, like, I'm at the job, bruh. I'm working right now and I'm trying to earn money, and you gonna run up on me while I'm working? That's what I didn't like off the top. And then you start to break it down. Chris Rock been talking crazy about Jada Pinkett since 2014, 2016 at the Oscars, 2022 right in front of Will after everybody in society, I'm really going to get excited. This is not good. After everybody in society has been coming down on him about August Alsina, about their open marriage, about her saying he's not a good lover. He's had a couple movies that have flopped since then. I don't like most of the projects that he does now, but his kids, okay, now Jaden, we don't know about his sexuality, whatever it is, that's fine. Willow, she's weird. Your wife, she is bald. That's okay. I done fell in love with some bald head, fat booties before. How you better than me? That's what immediately went off in my mind, and I didn't like it because you got to be a man at some point. You got to be a grown up at some point. He's a comedian. He was there to make jokes and to entertain the crowd. You took exception to it because you took it personally. Like, I'm sorry, Doug, like a bitch. He acted like a female. He was ruled by his emotions, and I didn't like that. And now I think this is the 9th or the 10th point that I'm making. All these women on social media that are so desperate for a man to defend them or stand up for them. I feel like this gives some of the negative space energy. Everybody doesn't need to be called for a fight. You understand what I'm saying? He was poking jokes. As a comedian, that's his job. You can't and are not justified running up on me when I'm being funny. Like, I'm on the stage telling jokes. I'm shooting. I'm calling the homies. I'm calling the big homies. I'm calling everybody I know to get mine. I'm going to get back on you for doing something like that. So those are the first 10 points of what I didn't like with what I saw. If that even resonates or makes sense to you.
I think the problem is like, where's the reprimand? Like, where's the, how is it that he just went back to his seat as if nothing happened? Like, what is it about Hollywood that these people like are allowed to do whatever they think to do and it's all okay? Imagine if there's somebody that was, that wasn't in the front row did that. Like, imagine if they walked down, but like they would have got tackled before they got to the stage.
They would have got tased. They would have got shot. We see black men in the news every single day who don't even get a chance to exercise or defend their position. But Will Smith has a power of position, so he can act like this. And I never would call Will Smith a thug because he ain't a thug, bro. But
he an actor.
He an actor, and I guess that was as thugging it out as he gets. That's so unfair.
Like, and that's what about the whole faking part. Like, I mean, that's where I thought it was like, is it possible that this was all staged? Because you just don't know when everybody involved is acting. Because if you really think about it, if you pay attention to the cameras, he was laughing. He was laughing.
When he walked,
no. I'm talking about before he walked up.
Hard belly laugh.
He was laughing. He was dying laughing. Like Jada Pinkett was dying laughing. And then all of a sudden he just gets up and he walks up and then he swings and he walks back and nobody moved. And I just don't understand how he's getting away with this. How is it that the police didn't get involved themselves? Like, why do you have to have you don't need somebody to press charges if you saw it happen. That's like saying if you see somebody shoot somebody else because the person jumped up and say, nah, it's cool. You just going about your day as a police officer. No, you like there was security there. That
Jada's face. Jada was disappointed, and I saw it. Right, that was the only thing human about it. She didn't like it. And Will being, he just looked bad. He looked desperate. He looked
terrible, man. I was unimpressed.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a husband, I was still unimpressed. As a man, I was extremely unimpressed. I mean, because fact of the matter is, Chris Rock ain't never, ever said that he was a fighter. I'm just saying, like, he ain't never, ever said that he was a fighter, right? You know what I mean? He ain't never said that he was a fighter. He ain't never said that, you know what I'm saying, he'd knock a cat out. That he ain't that guy. So essentially, what I saw was you bully somebody that you knew wasn't gonna fight back. My fact of the matter is my mom has alopecia. So if I decide I want to make fun of alopecia, I would love for Cuz to try to run up on me and think he gonna get back to his seat willy-nilly. Like, if you really think you gonna make it back to the seat, yo, you are not really Ali, yo.
Right.
Like, you're not really Ali. I'll knock you out, bro.
It made me mad. It made me mad. Because exactly what you said. Like, I don't know, like, I ain't never loved nobody bald-headed. I know so many bald-headed, fat booty, beautiful women like Jada's gorgeous, right? But that doesn't give you the excuse to be insecure for her.
You don't have to. I mean, even if he was insecure, even if she's insecure, fact of the matter is, you have no rights to put your hands on nobody. Period. Unless they put
pillars out here, cuz I'm not playing with you. You ain't putting your hands on me like that.
He slapped him,
yeah. And he hold up. Chris Rock, after he slapped him, Chris Rock didn't touch his face. He didn't bleed. He didn't try to fight back. He didn't say nothing about the slap. Chris Rock looked like a G. Chris Rock looked way tougher than Will Smith looked.
I would say philosophically, yes.
Philosophically. Intellectually. Why did Will Smith go across the body like an NFC quarterback? He went all the way across the body with the slap, and Chris Rock was unmoved. He didn't fall to the ground. It made Will look soft. Remember when he slapped that reporter that kissed him years ago? That man didn't go down either. So maybe Will Smith is just an actor.
He need to hit that weight room right. Because if you slap somebody and they ain't upset about it, it's a problem.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah, how you slap somebody on national TV and they don't live to regret it?
He didn't even say ow. I'm like, he could have said owie, and it would have still looked harder than the way I perceived Will Smith doing that soft stuff. I didn't like it, man. I already told you where my mind went immediately, and I was really upset, genuinely upset, because two prominent, successful, rich Black men being in that space, representing themselves, not me, themselves that way, was heartbreaking. Like, I didn't walk away from that feeling empowered or good. It didn't make me feel like, bruh's really out here doing it. Like, I didn't feel good about it. And now I told you the aftermath, the fallout, where I'm concerned, because I'm tired of being on social media and hearing these women talk about how Black men aren't defending them and how they're so desperate for their men to act like Will Smith. They're so desperate for men to put themselves in bad situations. I can relate to that because I've been in relationships with women going to the nail shop and they talking Vietnamese and they making fun of her because she's bald-headed, fat-stomached, broke, poor complected, or whatever it is, right? And you want to put me in that mix to defend your honor. My question is why? I follow that question up with, why didn't Jada stop him from embarrassing himself, or I don't know, possibly putting himself in a situation where he would go to jail? I didn't like that. That's not Black love. That's not unity. That's not a partnership. That's a woman with low self-esteem using a man to go do her bidding. And that's how Will has looked in the public to me, because we all know about their open relationship, or the suspicion of them having an open relationship. We know about August Alsina. We know about her doggone alopecia. Why didn't she put on a wig? That's 4 points that I made.
Well, I mean, let me start with the first one. I have to only disagree in the sense that we don't know the part in reference to Jada Pinkett. Like I don't know if she even knew what he decided to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he said, "I'm about to hit this nigga." We don't know if he just got up. You know what I mean? He for all she knew he was getting. Yeah, for all she knew he got up to go to the bathroom.
Why did he laugh at first if it wasn't funny?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, therein lies the question. Like, if they were both laughing, and then all of a sudden Will gets up, she doesn't know what his thought process is. She found out like we found out. But if I'll give credence to your point, if she knew, if he said, "All right, I had enough of this," right.
I'm gonna go this
like he just jumped up. That's it. If he jumped up and said that's it, and she didn't grab his shirt and said, "No, sit your butt down," then yeah, that would make at least give me question. I don't know if that would make her insecure. That shows how insecure he is.
That's what I mean.
I don't know if I can call her insecure in this situation. She probably is very embarrassed at this point. I mean, if she wasn't embarrassed about August Alsina, if she wasn't embarrassed about the fact that if she wasn't embarrassed about her, if she's not embarrassed, I should say, about her children, then this had to have embarrassed her just a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Like, she hasn't made a statement about any of that stuff. All she's talked about is herself. She's narcissistic. All she talks about is her alopecia and where she sits on things. And don't forget, recently she talked about how Will Smith is a bad lover. That doggone red table talk is detrimental to my self-esteem. I don't know what it's doing to Will Smith, but I feel that all these events are what pressurized the situation and led to him doing something like this. I want to also say, what if Kanye West did this?
Oh, he'd be in jail right now.
Thank you.
He'd definitely be in jail.
He'd be crazy. He's crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, he crazy just for stating facts. I mean, he got up on a stage and stated a fact.
Yeah.
And people thought he was loony for it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like,
and that's what it is.
And I don't really have any true respect for Beyonce, but fact of the matter is what he said in reference to Beyonce that day was true. You know what I'm saying? Though baby girl didn't deserve it. The one, he shunned for his comment. I don't think she deserved it. It was that Taylor Swift, I think it was her name. I don't think she deserved that. But that doesn't change the fact that he was just being honest. But he didn't hurt anybody in that situation. Nobody fell. Nobody got pushed off the stage. Nobody got tripped as he was walking by. You know what I'm saying? But Kanye West was yeah, that's another thing. That's the fact of the matter. If you pay attention to the video, you can hear Chris Rock scream a name in the process of watching him walk up. I think he said Richard or something like that. But I think he knew what was coming. Like, he could see that this dude means whatever he's about to say or do, right? So if watch the video one more time and listen as you see Will Smith walking up, listen to Chris Rock's voice. He yells out a name. He's looking for some help because I think he realizes he can see how Will Smith is probably seeing red right now.
Pineapples is a safety word.
Well, I think he said Richard. I honestly believe he said Richard, but I
saw the Australian version, and it was unedited. And after the whole altercation, Chris Rock murmurs, and he says, "I could," and he stops himself because that Chris Rock he's a comedian. He could really embarrass him. But Will Smith felt comfortable enough to violate this man.
Yes, he felt comfortable enough hitting somebody in public on TV. like, how do you feel that comfortable? Like, I don't feel comfortable walking to CVS by myself, knowing
and cutting line.
I don't
even feel comfortable cutting line at a doggone CVS. He gonna walk up and pimp slap Chris Rock. He gonna hit Pootie Tang.
Yo, check it out. Let me tell you something that I was telling myself I was gonna keep secret. Earlier today, I needed to utilize the bathroom, so I stopped at a Chipotle, and I went. Well, let me finish. I stopped at a Chipotle and I noticed that the toilet was broke. and that didn't stop me. And I felt like that. I'll be honest with you. As I noticed that the toilet was broke, I was like, I really feel bad for this, right? Even though the door is closed, like I was like, I feel bad for this. There's only one toilet. I don't have a choice in the matter, right? But I walked out feeling just as embarrassed as you would expect, Jada should have, right? Ooh, and I know nobody saw it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
he saw it.
But yeah, and I think that's why I said, Lord, I really feel bad for what I have to do, but like I don't have a choice. I gotta go. Like, right. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real situation, yeah.
But it's on national TV, and you
made tell yourself, allegory, bro. That was really good. That's a real situation. That's humility, and that was what was lacking in the situation. I really like that.
You tell yourself that, you know, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to do, or it doesn't matter if it's anything wrong with what I'm about to do. Like, I could care less how anybody feel with what I'm about to do. Now, I'm going to say this. Niggas. Not black men.
Right.
All right, let me make sure I make a differentiation. Yeah. Niggas are saying, I did the same thing. I did the same thing. You know why they say that? Because you'll never find out if they're telling the truth. You'll never find out. If it's one thing I found out about my people is they love saying, man, if that were me, you know what I'm saying?
That's that nigga, man. I slapped his mama, nigga. I would slapped his baby mama, and I would slapped his daddy.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, but what would you really do if you was on national television and you didn't have the same Hollywood clout that Will Smith had? And dude was talking about you. I mean, literally just talking about your wife. And and he wasn't necessarily making fun of alopecia. What he did was he gave and I thought the shit was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was funny. I thought it was just as funny as Jada obviously did, because just to say I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2, like that's harmless. This is a harmless joke. That's a harmless joke.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Yeah, if he said something like, if one more strand fall out, then yeah, I get it. Now you're making fun of the fact that she has an issue, but come on, bro, like grow up. And that's my issue with niggas, man. Like you, like, when do we decide to grow up?
Right.
And you sit there and tell me, you get there and talking about, now I feel like I do feel like that angry dad, because he was talking about that movie he just did about the Williams sisters. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, no, you look like a fool. You didn't look like an angry dad. I get angry when my son come home and he was in detention, because he never goes to detention. So if he's in the detention, yeah, I get upset. Yeah, right. but I don't get the swinging.
I want to go back to the point you made before, though. What would you do if it were me, an average man, the everyday man? Fool, I'm not lying. I would have set him up. I'd have been like, oh, bro, hi, that's funny, cut. And I would have met him somewhere, and I would have dealt with him. You feel me? I would have dealt with him. And that's what the difference between Hollywood and reality. And it really upset me, because I feel like Will was trying to play both lines. You can't be no real nigga and no Hollywood nigga at the same time. You can choose one pass or the other. Yeah. And he rode that Hollywood lightning. I didn't like that. I was very upset by that, because what you said, I guess it's bullying. You got, like, I'm at work right now, bro. Like, I'm working behind the counter. You see my boss right over there. Please don't play with me like that. And I think many black men can relate to that. Any bro with a job, when you working at the mall, you work at the Gap, and you got to wear the doggone headphones, and your boys come in, they smell like weed. You don't want them to make the spot hot. And that's what Will Smith tried to do. He made that man's spot hot, and I don't appreciate it. I think he needs to be dealt with. I think Chris Rock, he deserves some kind of get back.
I would have done two things at the same time. I would have done two things. First, okay. Now you remember in the footage, Will Smith is yelling, and everybody hears him, right? Like, everybody heard him, including Chris Rock, because he said, "Okay, I won't." Right.
Right.
So we do know that if I was to yell at Chris Rock, he would hear me, right? So this is what I would have yelled. Okay, first thing is
You would have heckled him.
I would have yelled this. Okay, bro, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. This is the last time I'm gonna say it.
Right.
And then as the show continued, I would have texted my lawyer and say, "Hey, bro, do we got a case for defamation?"
Ooh.
And I would have bled them dry, because that's how you affect these people in Hollywood. You bleed them dry. So Will Smith had that opportunity, and he gave it away to Chris Rock, right? But now Chris Rock has the ability to bleed this man dry, and he like you said, he has the ability to bleed the show dry. He has the ability to bleed the security service dry. He has the ability to bleed whoever.
Defamation, everything.
He gave him all authority to take control of this situation, when all he had to say was, "I'm not gonna keep playing with you, Chris."
Right. He could have been so chill. He could have been powerful with it. Jay-Z wouldn't have gone up there. Jay-Z has real street clout, and he wouldn't have gone up there and looked like a hoe like that. I don't like the way he handled it. He sucker punched the man. It looks soft to me. And you make a great point of the financial side. If I was on that stage and you connect with me, my boy, my neck would have been broken.
I would have fell all over that stage. I'd have been rolling.
And I mean, that's just being 1,000.
Oh,
I would have got paid so many different ways. Everybody be writing me a check. AARP, Social Security be paying me, pension fund. I would have got everything. I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry, man. Like I would have owned Will Smith after this. I would have owned him. Like Will Smith,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh my God, man! I would own this man. Like Peacock would be paying me after this. Like,
bro, you know what I was thinking? I was like, was Fresh Prince doing coke with Carlton? Like, what is going on? Like, how did we get departed from the man of integrity, Mr. Hollywood, Mr. Family Man, Mr. I Rap Without Curses, to going up there like he was Suge Knight?
Man, he better not put not one more motivational word on Instagram. I swear to goodness, he ain't allowed to do no more talking.
It's a wrap.
Like it's starting to wrap your career up now, brother. Like, I mean, just wrap it on up. Like now you've reached a point of no return, because you've gone to a place that those that have progressed in Hollywood without making blemishes on their record. You know what I'm saying? You've now changed the whole you changed the landscape for your career. Like it doesn't look like it makes sense to put you in a wholesome role anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense to say that you're wise, because that wasn't a wise or smart move. Like
any level. And it's just a bad example. And I really do. I really, really get upset because of what we're going to talk about next, the aftermath, the fallout, the legacy that this creates. Women are desperate for a man to defend them, in my experience right now.
That's a damn shame, because I never heard that.
Bruh, I got a lot of women I'm talking to, interviewing, and they're so happy about this. They're like excited that he needed to defend her. That's what I want my man to do. And I think that it's a dangerous precedent, because, like I said, I've been in real relationships. I've been with women, and they love to put you in that situation to defend their honor, but not all these women are worth defending. Unfortunately, I'm not trying to be Kevin Samuels. But I've already seen him start to do the interviews with women in the aftermath of this. And the entitlement of Black women is what is going to cloud and crowd the space after this. Because there are some amazing women in this world. There are some amazing mothers, amazing wives. But that's not all women. And secondarily, you earn that in your relationship. You don't dick ride Will Smith to try to say that he's going to be your defender. That's crazy. Savannah James, LeBron James' wife, she's never been out here on anything crazy publicly. Every dysfunctional moment that they've had has been in private. And I admire a woman like that so much more than a woman like Jada Smith. But that's where our women are going. If they're not twerking in public or speaking out in public and wilding out in public. They want their man to defend them like this in public, and it's not healthy.
You know what? I don't, like I said, I don't know what that looks like. I can be honest and say there's no way my wife would have allowed that.
My woman either. And that's what she said immediately when it happened. I would have pulled you down on the stage. Why would you embarrass me like that?
That's exactly what she would have said.
Yeah.
That's exactly because if you really think about it, and if, like I said, if women are saying that he should have defended him, that means that they really don't pay attention to reality, because he didn't defend her in that situation.
At all.
He defended his ego.
Yes.
So
thank you, sir.
So there was no defense of Jada in that situation. But now I think the issue is now Jada has to now defend herself because of the fact that, you know, Will has already made it known that he's too irrational to make sense of these types of situations. So when she decides to come out of the closet in reference to this situation, what she's going to have to say is, I don't agree with what he did, and I didn't like what he did. And if I knew he was going to do that, there's no way it would have happened. That's what she should say. What she's going to say is, I respect the fact that my man was willing to stand up for my feelings and my emotions, even though I would prefer that he had went about it a different way. But I'm just glad that I have a man that is willing to stand up for his household. He didn't stand up for his household. Nobody had I mean, why isn't he hitting people more? Because people always got something to say about his dumb butt.
Why he ain't beat August Alsina like that?
No. That's too far, because he allowed Alice Alsina. He allowed that. And
right.
I mean, you could say
that's ego. That's my ego.
He welcomed that. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was a threesome, that means that he's sitting there watching and enjoying it. But I mean, we're talking about, let's talk about things that, you know, that's outside of his control, like what people say about his kids. You know what I'm saying? Like your son is crazy, and your daughter, they just need
You don't spell crazy with the G.
Like, it's something wrong with both of them, but he don't never fight over them. Ain't nobody. I mean, why? But why not? Why you ain't in jail by now, bro? You should have been in jail, because people always got something to say about your kids.
For playing Richard Williams, right? The crazy black father who loves his kids unconditionally.
Okay.
Who defends his kids in total. But he doesn't treat his kids like that, like you said.
Yeah. I would argue that I bet he constantly heard things in reference to his son and daughter, and the only thing he could think to do is go to them and tell them, don't worry about what people say. You know, people gonna talk. You just be.
You read tabloids, because that's what the tabloids say. That's all it says. He tells Jaden, well, just do you, buddy. Because Jaden's supposed to be boyfriends with Tyler, the Creator, and Willow is supposed to be doing whatever she want to do. And I love her music. Willow Smith, I don't listen to rock music, but she's the next damn Jimi Hendrix. Have you ever heard her play the Get Fiddle? That girl can play the guitar like, whoa.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, like, I care how talented these kids think they are, or how talented they actually are.
You want
it's too much about them that is worth. It's too distasteful for me to give credence to the fact that, you know, I play a guitar, or the fact that Jaden knows martial arts. I could care less. I haven't enjoyed the sight of Jaden since Karate Kid.
That's when he was a child, right? Yeah. And then as a young man, he wanted to go his own way, and whatever his lifestyle is, Will is behind it. Jada's behind it, and Hollywood supports it.
Right. So let people say what they got to say about your family. You support it anyway, right? Support the fact that your wife make a bald head look good, because she do.
She do.
What's wrong with that, bro? Like,
I put a wig on her, but yes,
chill with it. Chill with it. Like, your wife is dope, and she has always been dope in reference to how she look. Okay, only in reference to how she look.
Right.
She has always been one of the dopest chicks to ever be on the scene, and you upset because somebody said that she should do
G.I. Jane.
Like, you upset about that? Like,
it was a joke.
Yeah, if anything, you should, when you got your award, you should say, you know what, hey Chris, you right, yo, we need to do that movie. That's more money in your pocket. But they can't do it now because she got you. You slapped Chris Rock about the movie. So
did you see the slap though? I didn't like the slap. But I
slapped
think
like he ain't got no hands, bro. Like I mean, you train to be Ali, but I mean, you train to be Ali, and your hand just didn't look authoritative.
it was an open hand. I guess it was an open hand punch, is what he tried to turn it into, but it looked punk. And he twisted his whole body into it. And ain't Will Smith like 6'3" or something like that? Yeah. I ain't like it.
So if it wasn't real, then my whole thing is he might have pushed his face and he might have mushed him. He might not have slapped him.
Have you seen the breakdown when it's slow motion?
Nah.
Did you hear it in real time?
Yes, but I heard a lot of things in real time. Like, I mean, at the time that the slap was happening, you can also hear the crowd too. So, I mean, in retrospect, I don't know what I was hearing.
The crowd didn't act like real people, though. They didn't go, ooh, ah, like they were like, ha, 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 ha.
You would have thought they expected it.
Yeah.
That's what made me think it wasn't real, is because, like I said, there was just too much. There's too much about a person getting assaulted in real time and nothing occurred afterwards. That tells me
my lawyers would have taken account for everybody in the audience, and we would have sued them, reprimanded them, subpoenaed them individually, and I would have got my reparations from everyone that saw me be viciously attacked and did nothing. I would be in every psychology textbook and become the new Kitty effect. I'm telling you that I would have cleaned. You
know what I hate most?
His kids
this is what I hate most. There are already people out there that's going to try to turn and try to flip this somehow, that black people are oppressed because of this. Like this shows the oppression of the black man. Like, because we continuously beat the heck out of each other. So there's something wrong there. So the white man is to blame.
Well, that's what they were saying about the decorum, because there were so many white people around. How could they act like this? How could they bring such an urban energy into the sophistication of the Oscars? Like, that's what I have a problem with. And that's what I talk about when I say the fallout, because they were black men. I think they should have had some kind of unity, but I understand. I didn't have ops before. And I know how it goes. But the way that it was handled by everybody disgusted me. No one cares about Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris. I thought it was just a TV show. No one came to his defense. Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's a billionaire. He's the only one that made $1 billion as an actor, right? And he's not just an actor, but obviously. And they all came to Will Smith's defense. And then 20 minutes later, he won the award. Come on now. If that was in Michael K. Williams or any real one, they would have barred him from the event. Security would have been dispatched immediately. If he did win the award, my nigga would be outside on FaceTime talking about some Eka. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you next year. Like, it would have been wrapped up real quick. But because it was Will Smith, he got to get on the stage and cry. Like, what was that about? He was crying. And he never apologized to Chris Rock. He apologized to I call it the white media, to, let's just say, the white man. He was pandering to the white crowd at that white event, and he didn't care about his brother at all, the black man that he embarrassed, who was at work, who was hosting the event. I didn't like it at all, man.
Why do you call it a white event?
Hollywood. And
so that's like saying everybody that work in Hollywood is somehow white.
Well, I wanted to do a show with you about this concept, right? I hate when black people talk about it's not enough black faces in all stories. We're not all Irish. We're not all Japanese. We're not all Italian. We are everywhere, but everything doesn't have to be deduced to a black story. I think that's why we always have these slave stories that get people nominated, or these tragedies that get us nominated. Will Smith, again, he was nominated playing an impoverished father who had to raise two girls that became multimillionaires, tennis pros. They wasn't rich when they was kids. And I saw the movie. King Richard got his ass kicked a couple times. If you've seen the movie. I didn't like that. Does that make sense? I'm saying that everything doesn't have to be deduced to a black story or a black reality. We can have black actors in Hollywood, and we should tell black stories. Everything shouldn't be about this sad doom and gloom, or the classic slavery narrative, or the Pursuit of Happiness, where he had to play an impoverished father when Jaden was little. You remember that one? Yeah. That was the other thing that got him nominated. It was his first Oscar last night. That's what I mean.
Well, I mean, even still, like at some point, we got to stop blaming everybody else for our shortcomings. Because I mean, nobody's sitting around taking notes of my life and saying, okay, so this definitely has to be because of the white man. That happened because of the white man. No, I don't have that benefit. But somehow, one of the richest men in America gets to deduce his shortcoming, or his inability to take criticism, or his inability to take a joke is because of white people. Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't necessarily think that, but look at the situation he's been in since, let's say, 2016, not to jump real quick, but 2016, Chris Rock made fun of Jada Pinkett because she was protesting the Oscars then. Now she's at the Oscars with her husband. Chris Rock makes a joke that gets her sensitive, and this is what we have. If that makes sense, I feel like it's because of the company that was in the house. I don't think it was because of the event. He didn't really care about defending his wife. He cared more about his ego. And that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with skin pigmentation?
The company, Hollywood. They were protesting because there's a lack of representation. And again,
so so what?
Let
me say this. This is my issue with we back to this is my issue with people that are close in my pigment. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and I hope somebody gets mad and feel like saying something about it, because I would love to debate you. Okay?
This is why I wanted to do the show with you.
This is my biggest issue. If you have such an issue with representation of your pigment as a millionaire, and why don't you just create your own means of representation?
Tyler Perry.
So Tyler Perry created his own means.
Yes.
Whoever started, I forgot the person that started BET, created their
Bob
own.
Johnson.
Yeah, they created their own means. You mean to tell me that the NBA is 90-something% black, the NFL is 90-something% black, but there's not enough money to create our own means? Get the heck out of here, man! Like this is
black
my problem.
People don't agree on our stories, and that's
irrelevant. That's irrelevant because you have the right to make your own story if you create your own avenue. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really, white folk ain't sitting around thinking about their pigmentation in reference to how they make their money. They just go out and make their money.
Right.
Mexicans ain't even sitting around thinking about their pigmentation. You know what they're thinking about? They're thinking about their culture, right? Their culture makes more sense to them. That's how they have a love for culture. But black people could care less about their own culture. We don't talk about our culture. We talk about our skin color, and we only talk about our skin color when we're trying to divide ourselves with another pigment color. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ask me, if somebody said, "Why do you continuously pigment?" Because you can't prove to me that God made more than one race.
Right.
So if God only made one human race, why are we dividing that race by pigment? Okay, so
and I think that's what it really means to be black, though, because we are a diasporic people. We're everywhere, but we can't relate as a culture to each other. We can't just say that we're African. I hate the term African American. I don't consider myself African American. I consider myself black. But we are a hue. We are all shades. And I think that's part of the purpose. I think that's why the divisiveness is prevalent, because we have no unity, and further that with our stories. I was joking last night. Ain't nothing wrong with a dope boy in a CNA doing something. I hated Queen and Slim. How you a lawyer and you get caught up in this nonsense. I hate Tyler Perry films. I don't like the fact that everybody is a doctor and a lawyer and so disconnected from reality and consumed with themselves that it just doesn't feel good. Medea, she is the most relatable character, but why does damn Tyler Perry have to play her?
Right. Yeah, and I think that's my only issue with Tyler Perry films is there always has to be somebody that's homosexual, or there always has to be some type of gay act in the movie. Like, I mean, I thought you was a Christian, bro. Like, why do you have two men kissing?
I grew up on Tyler Perry. I grew up watching him at the Muni in St. Louis. I've seen his plays and I've seen his progression. I've seen his evolution. But it's exactly that makes me uncomfortable, and I just don't embrace it the same. At the same time, I'm fine with everybody representing and everybody being accounted for. I just like the foundation to be in reality. I just did a show with somebody on the podcast, and I was talking about how in my family, nobody's ever come out as gay. But I got some little cousins, we done seen some, come on now. Jordan, I think you might need to step out the closet. You know what I'm saying? But the foundation of reality and it being missing is what baffles me about this whole experience.
Yeah, I don't know if I got any good people.
Right? I mean, the fact that Will Smith can walk across the stage and anybody else, you'd call him a thug. You call him a G. But Will Smith doing is corny. It just makes it kind of whack. But why would you touch Chris Rock like that? And Chris Rock handling it the way he did, I wasn't ready for his level of maturity. I really wasn't. Like he's a mature man, and he's protecting his money, and that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, what did he say? This is the greatest night in TV history.
Maybe
there's some truth to that. There's some truth to it. But I think the issue is it just creates. You know what it showed me? That this is what it showed me. Okay, so in 1989, when that slogan "white privilege" got created, and it's lasted all the way to now. Yeah. Right. When you really think about it, it's lasted all the way to now. But last night I saw what real black privilege looks like.
Being able to assault, kill, or demean another black man.
Well, now we got to put it on TV because conservatives have been talking about this for the last few years. How black people are getting away with murder these days, and I mean, there's a lot of truth to the fact that people are cats is going into stores and looting and going on carrying on, and they're getting out of jail the very next morning with nothing on their record. But now we literally got to see one of our quote unquote leaders of the community show us who really has all of the
Don't get leading blacks confused with black leaders.
What's the difference? What black leaders you know about?
Well, you said Will Smith. That's why I disagree. He's leading.
No, I didn't say he was a leader. I just said that. I shouldn't say leader. Maybe
you said quote unquote, and I agree with you actually.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying because I mean, we follow fame. We don't follow wisdom. We don't follow wisdom, right? Because I can say a name right now, and only you might know who I'm talking about. So I mean, I don't waste my time when I talk about these sort of people around my own people. Why?
Barack Obama isn't a black leader, not just because he's not black, but because he's not leading blacks.
No, but when you really think about it, black people haven't had leaders since the civil rights movement.
MLK?
Yeah, we haven't had real leaders since the civil rights movement. You know why? Because I can look at the story of MLK. I can look at the story of Malcolm X and see that they got nothing out of it personally, right? Like Malcolm X didn't get rich off of this situation, right?
He got killed.
He got shot, right? And the same for MLK. He didn't get rich. He got shot.
You know MLK Jr. is gay.
What a shame. What a shame.
But doesn't it tie into this theme, right? Where our leaders and their legacies are continually attacked and tarnished by the world. And I'm, whatever, Jaden, whatever sexuality is, Willow, whatever it is. But your father took it upon himself to be bigger than. And I take exception to that, mostly because he had to devastate another black man. I'm hurt because no one has come to the defense of Chris Rocky yet. I've been waiting all day for the news cycle for someone to just be like, I can't believe that you would put hands on Chris Rock like that. You would do him like that. Instead, it's been all these women in support of Will Smith violating him.
Yeah.
We can't get it right.
Yeah.
But I hope that I see you on part 3 of the Will Smith trilogy. We're gonna come back on the line around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we should conclude this. And maybe we will see someone on the side of Chris Rock. Maybe we will see someone that I don't know will contend Will Smith for bullying Chris Rock, and maybe we'll have a greater epiphany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris Rock didn't deserve that. I don't care how you look at it. He didn't deserve that. I mean, even if you're willing to defend Will Smith, you can't defend him by saying Chris Rock deserved that, because he didn't deserve to get hit. All right, so I'll leave it at that.
I hope I see you again this evening. I appreciate you making the time for part 2. I'm really excited to actually record with you right now, because this is a lot to unpack, a lot to process, and I want to have a bigger panel just so I can really hear some varying perspectives, and maybe we can draw some solid solutions or conclusions from this that help everyone. So I'll see you in a few hours. I appreciate you.
All right, brother.